So today I want to talk about the importance of patience. Patience is most befitting. As we know, patience is actually very important, and there are so many places in the Quran and some of the authentic traditions of the Prophet ﷺ where he told us to be patient. Patient with life, patient with family, patient in achieving whatever goals that you set for yourself. Even achieving some of the greatest things in life, you just have to be patient. Right from your primary education to your secondary and to your tertiary education, you just have to be patient before you can be able to achieve all of that. And likewise, even entering paradise requires you to be patient, because it requires you to pray, to be prayerful consistently with your daily prayers. You have to perform lots of jihads. You have to try as much as possible to do a lot of things, and of course, which all requires you to be patient. Those who meet hardship with a strong bearing and a patient consonance are in the minority. A lot of people tend not to be patient with life. Once they are afflicted with certain trials and tribulations, they tend to find it very difficult to exercise patience. But we must consider this, and it's something that all of us must try to understand. Though it may seem obvious, if you and I, or all of us, if a group of people doesn't want to be patient, or if you as an individual refuse to be patient, then what other options do you have? Obviously, if you are not patient, you're going to, when you lose your patience and you refuse to be patient, for example, there's going to be some negative consequences. If it is school, if you're not patient with your education, definitely you're going to be ignorant. If you're not patient, even in making money, you're definitely going to lose a lot of money. So patience is very important. Now the question is, if you are not patient, what other option do you have? And I will simply tell you none, obviously, because at the end you might just end up being violent, or you're going to realize that if only you were patient for some few moments, you would have benefited so very greatly. So if you look at the histories of all the people that succeeded in this life, you will realize that it was because they exercised some very great amount of patience during their trials and during their tribulations. All the difficult moments that they passed through, they quite understand that this was just for the moment, and it was just a matter of time before you'll become very or absolutely fine. So know that each time you escape, because this is how life is designed, each time you escape a particular difficulty, there are chances that you still enter another. If you are not battling with health, you're likely to be battling with financial issues. And if you're not, then you might be battling with one other things, families, friends, your workplace, and so on and so forth. So we just don't have any option than to be patient, actually. So patience is very important. We have to be patient with one another. Even patient with parents, patient with Allah, patient with everyone, patient with your workplace. So patience is so very important. And if you're not, you obviously are not going to achieve so much in this life, because being patient is one of the ways of our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. As we know, he passed through certain difficulties as well, but he was very patient. Okay, so once you are in a very difficult situation, just understand that one of the very things you can do for yourself is to exercise patience. Understand that this is just for the moment. Therefore, be patient and know that your patience is only through Allah. Obviously, Allah will reward you if only you are patient solely for His sake. Have the patience of one who is confident in the forthcoming ease. Understand that, in the ma'al usri yusra, as much as you are, for whatever difficulty, there is ease. So of one who knows that there will be a good ending, and of one who seeks the reward from his Lord, hoping that by facing difficulties, Allah will expiate all his sins. No matter what, believe you me, being patient, it's going to pay you a lot of rewards. And I will just give, and there are some instances, for example, even without giving them, being patient with family, being patient with your workplace, being patient with your education, patient even with the processes that you've set for yourself in trying to achieve some financial goals and all of that. Patience has to be part of this, because how else do you define discipline or consistency or the failure of rejection and all of that if you remove patience out of it? In whatever this process is, in all of this, you just have to understand that patience is key in achieving anything in this life. Having read the biographies of some of the most successful people from the past, including some of the companions of our noble Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, we realize that they were only given paradise because of the great deal or the great amount of patience that they have, that they displayed, that they bear. So heavy burdens only emerge as stronger human beings. Hardship fell upon their heads. They passed through lots of difficulties, from one particular difficulty to another, but they never gave up. We understand what happened to them. At the end, Allah rewarded them for their patience. So one thing I can tell you is, whatever difficulty you're passing through at the moment, just be patient. It's just a matter of time. You will be absolutely fine. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.